Good evening. On behalf of the management, principal, vice principal, head of the department, and faculty members, it's my great pleasure to invite one of our distinguished alumni, Mr. Premnath M S, working as a senior solutions specialist, Ericsson Global Services, Chennai. He's going to going to give the presentation about the communication industry vision. Uh, so let me introduce our distinguished alumni on behalf of our department or our institution. Mr. Premnath M S received his BE in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Valliammai Engineering College, uh, 2003 to 7 batch. He is currently working as Senior Solutions Specialist, Ericsson Global Services, Chennai, with experience of 13.6 years. He also worked in Nokia Networks, Videocon Telecommunication, Linkust India Private Limited as a lab specialist, 5GC, Senior Network Executive, on core engineer operation and management respectively. He's having the excellent experience in network management center, operation maintenance, then working on lab environment building like a NSA and SA architecture, in NFVA environment design, planning and deploy. And then technology stream, he is uh, more well versed in telco cloud, subscriber database management, IP multimedia systems, packet core, and mobile switching, especially in the 5G standalone on standalone architecture, OpenStack, NFVI, and VoLTE. Recently, while discussing with him, I came to know while he was working in Nokia Networks, he worked in the 5G lab. There is a exclusive facility available at Nokia Networks, Chennai. It's my great pleasure to invite our guest speaker on the communication uh, industry vision. So thank you very much. Now the session hand over to Mr. Premnath. Dear students, it's a 40-minute session. Out of 40 minutes, Mr. Prem going to talk about the progress happening from the generation network, from the AMPS to the 5G beyond that. Even we came across certain things in the academic side from the textbook, from the different textbooks about the OSA layers. While seeing is one of the PPT, how much effort he made, how we are realizing all the 7 layers. And then buying and selling session, he may take 7 to 10 minutes. That is also one of the eye-opening thing while seeing his pre-demo before this session. So best wishes to Mr. Premnath. Students, after the session of 40 minutes, there is the question and answer session also. Before that also, you can post the questions in the chat box. I will consolidate and then you can get the answer from him. He's having the right experience in the particular telecommunication domain. Thank you all. Prem, over to you.
Thanks, Mr. Ramesh, and very glad to meet all the youngest peoples. Okay, so to my intention, then when I speak with the youngest peoples, I'll get a lot of knowledge and a little bit of energy. This is how my vision on the peoples. So I don't want to waste much time. So you're given me a good introduction about me. So I'm just directly moving to the slides. Well, good evening to everyone. Okay, I don't have any agenda to speak, or I cannot say that what content I have. I just like that I'm going to run my slides. Okay, so I have a question to you, everyone. So with my topic, what you have understood, like what is going to be, or like what Mr. Ramesh was explaining, like. Do you have any idea like what will be the agenda or content? I just give you 30 seconds, just give you a minute. Can anyone answer it, or you can put in the chat box? no answers or no idea like what I'm going to talk about? Well, I'll move into the slides. That's better for you. Okay. First of all, I want to say like we are now having everyone having an mobile phones in your hand. When I was doing colleges, mobile phones were a big, I could say it was a big assets. But nowadays it has become one of your sixth finger in your hand. Okay. But this mobile communication has not developed like directly to 4G or 3G. There also was some start from there. It started growing up, and now we are in the situation of 5Gs. Okay. First of all, when this mobile communication started, before that, the basic communication was our radio. When you see this traffic police, they used to have a walkie-talkie, right? So from that walkie-talkie only, next thing was a landline, which was developed. From there, they decided that we should have a communication in a wireless environment, not in a wired environment. So they decided to make a project to make how to move this messages like voice messages zeros and ones into a wireless technology, a wireless mode in an air interface. That's where this mobile came into the picture. So if when you see your first 1G phone was look like an literally like a telephone with a wireless system. Okay. So moving from the 1G started in the year of 1986. So basically they started with an basic advanced mobile phone services. That means with an FDMA, TDMA technology, which we are guys are reading now. But before that, it was known as AMPS. Moving further, they discovered the next methodology called 2G. It was known as a global system for mobile. In this, we started using this FDMA and TDMA multiplexing, in which our signals started getting into like our voice or what I can say, voice or data. Every signal started getting into the channel. Okay, so when in the case of 2G, it was like a voice only initially, and the next enhancement of this was SMS, like mobile short services has been gone up. So during this 2G environment, we have another enhancement called broadband services, which was in a fixed broadband services. Broadband services in the sense means it's a fixed line services. Okay, so they decided to bring this data services into a wireless technology. So then they discovered another the thing called 3G. Okay, this 3G has been discovered in the platform of CDMA, code division multiplex, and it is known as high-speed packet access also. It is known as HSPA. But this 3G was not successful because when they were trying to bring the 3G, they were in a plan of doing a video call and a HD voice call. That was not successful. So then they decided to enhance the speed of the database. Then this next technology came into was a 4G. The 4G they were saying about it's known as LTE, long-term evolution, where which the speeds got increased. So I can understand now we are in the era of 4G. You can I can give a live example like this WhatsApp, Skype, Facebook, or Instagrams have been populated after this technologies only. But again, still here, telecom sector what they want to achieve was not been achievable. Reason is that they were in the 4G. Their services have been started with the voice call, video calls. Okay, but still, if you see like when we want to do a video call or if you want to have an HD voice call, we are still using a third-party application like WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram. So moving to from 4G, they decided next technology was 5G. That means wireless. That means when the 4G was coming inside the market, the broadband services had become wireless. But they want to attain the speed of 10 Gbps. So they decided to design a technology called 5G in which the speed got increased. So in this, when the 5G came into the market, you can see like this massive IoT, enhanced mobile broadband services, ultra low latency concepts have been talked. For example, in the case of massive IoT, this Amazon Alexa is an example. So you will buy a what they say. You will say that it's a smart bulb, but the smart bulb consists of an IoT device over there inside. You will be configuring it with your Amazon Alexa, so that only when you say that example, it may be in your living room or somewhere, you'll say, Alexa, please on my lights in this living room. It's getting on. So that means your latency got decreased when for example, if you see a movie in a YouTube throwing a 4G signal, the buffer size will be too high. It will be like 30 milliseconds, but in the case of 5G, it is going to be 1 milliseconds. So what happens is that your driverless cars going to come inside the picture. Your how could I say, your voice quality gets increased. You can start doing video calls from your phone. You no need to depend on some WhatsApp or Facebook to make a video calls. So your life will be easy. Okay. So these are the enhancement is happening in this telecom industry. But according to me, now 1G, 2G, 3G is eradicated, or I can say it's no more. Now you guys are good enough that you're going to start working with 4G, 5Gs, because when we started working, we were working on wires and cables. Now nothing, everything is went into an IP network. So what we are doing, a communication, what we are doing is also through 4G only. Everyone is connected with the 4G, but your app is going to be a Teams. Okay, this is an example. I'm giving a live example over it. Uh, so far, it's okay. Or if you have any questions, please raise it up. Ramesh, can I move further?
Oh, you can go ahead, Prem.
Okay, come. If you see in the right side, there's a graphical view which explains you about the technology, what has been coming up, 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. But this graph is a particularly quite example where you can understand the subscriber is equal to human and machines. Okay, so what is mean by human and machines? Humans are like when we are in 3G, 4G, humans have been measured. When it comes to 4G and 5G, the machine started measuring. That means your IoT came inside the picture. And when the case of 5G, IoT is also coming into the picture. So you can start controlling your cars. Like you can see this Tesla cars are all working off. Tesla cars an example for you for the 5G network. Okay. So moving on to the next slide. So what I was explaining you before, like the 1G, 2G, 3G technologies. So what are the speeds have been obtained from it? What are the technologies used over here? And what are the key features has been enabled? In the case of 1G, the voice service was being enabled. In the case of 2G, the voice and data got enabled. In the case of 3G, I don't want to talk on 2G because it's a GPRS, somewhat related to 3G only. So in the case of 3G, your voice data, your multimedia services like your smartphones, everything like fast web browsing, video calling, TV streaming, everything came inside the picture. But this points all got like your smartphones enablement, your video calling, your TV streaming, everything got streamlined in the 4G technology only. So, for example, for a 4G technology, I can give you a very good example is Geo, because when they started their network, they started with the 4G technology, providing you free internets. From there, they move to voice. So it is like what I say is that your voice also is converted into an IP sector. For example, how could I compare is that when you use an WhatsApp, right? Your WhatsApp base is what from your if you're using from your mobile, you're using a 4G data, right? That is your base. But when you want to speak to someone, you're using an application called WhatsApp. So, but in the case of Geo, that WhatsApp application has been eradicated and that has got been integrated into the network that is called as an IMS system. So further slides I'll be explaining on it. In the 5G, I believe like it's too how could I say it's too far. It's too far for you. But I'll give you a basic understanding of 5G, saying that when 5G comes into the market, you will have low latency. Your Internet of IoT is getting developed. Your security systems will get developed. Your video call qualities, your voice qualities, everything is going to be developed. Cool. So far, good. Any questions?
Meantime, they have query, they can post in the chat box, Prem. We can
Okay.
Wow.
Uh, See, your next slide will explains you like I think every phones will contain what I have mentioned in the left side: the Facebook, Google, Netflix, your WhatsApp, Amazon, Twitter, Tinder, dating sites, everything. But the point over here is that how this development came up only when your broadband, when your data services came into your mobile phone. Okay, when your once it came into your mobile phone, you started using all the services. That means all the applications, everything came easier for you. So if you see when that year of 2016, the graph was very small. Now it's got exponentially grown up very faster, and the subscriber base is also getting increased. Your life is becoming easy. Okay, uh, that means your data services have started eating our mind, and you are being back of the data services only. That means I can say, as a communication engineer, you are completely being fulfilled with your environment of fully on communications only. Think and see, if your phone is not with you, you're lost. So this is how the communication has taken up everyone in everyone's life into their hand. Okay. I just want to say you something on the mobile phones, like what you guys are using right now. I can see like some ads nowadays saying that 5G phones are coming up. 5G mobiles are there. Like this phone, Samsung, they're mentioning our phones as 5G services, all these things. But do you really think that 5G phone is really needed in the market or not? I will say no, because none of the operators, like in India, we have four operators. Still, they are not started supporting this 5G networks. Okay. If I want, I can show you some live examples, and I will share you something on the. For example, okay. See, latestly I brought a phone called OnePlus 9RT for myself. Okay, so I was just explaining about the technologies like 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. So whenever you purchased a phone, have you ever checked in the GSM arena? There will be a topic called network. Okay, in this network will explains you what type of bandwidths these phones have been supported. So, for example, if you take this phone in 2G, these are the bands will be supported. For 3G, this bands will be supported, and for 4G, this other bands will be supported. But this bands will be supported by this phone, but your network has to be supported for it also. Okay. So if you see in India right now, all the networks are up to 4G bands only. So there's no point in buying a 5G phones to you. Uh, I could say like there's no any network to support you to give the 5G speed or something like that. So okay, this networks, how it has been classified again, like how you design, how it has been decided. This phone consists of this network is based on the processor. See, whenever you purchase a phone in the market, what is the discussions will be there? You'll say that this is having a Qualcomm processor, or most probably not the processor. You'll talk about the about the speed, camera, that what I say, like say that it has an octa-core processor, all these things. But the basic thing is the chipset, which is going being integrated with the phone. For example, everyone knows now the phones are coming with Qualcomm or the MediaTek processors. Okay. For example, if you take this phone OnePlus 9R, it's a chipset of Qualcomm Snapdragon 888. So when you go to this website, you can understand what are the cellular it has been supported. So if you see, it is supporting 5G NR, MMV waves, and sub 6. Okay, so it means it is a phone that supports 5G and 4G. Okay, I think I given you a fair enough idea that how you guys in future want to buy a phone or something like that. Okay, so moving back to the slide, I think maybe in the second year, or sir, I'm not sure. Like it will be in the fourth semester or in the fifth semester about the OSI layer.
They studied it during the fifth semester.
Fifth semester.
Communication network, exactly.
Before, actually, guys, I want to say one thing. Before starting the slides, I was going through your Academics, I understood that in sixth semester or fifth semester, you have a subject called wireless communication, where you are reading about this RS-232, Ethernets, all these things. Okay. So, but I want to give you a brief explanation about this OSA layer, how this OSA layer has been built, and how it has been used in your day-to-day life. Okay. For example, just think about you're just opening a browser, you're typing www.google, and it reaches the page. Okay. So but for this, still it's a basic of an OSA layer. Okay. So in this slide, I'm going to explain you how it's getting worked. So generally, OSA layer has 7 layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layers. Okay. So what is mean by physical layer? So when you are connecting your phone for a charge, then your cable is being used, right? So that is known as a physical layer. So if you see over here, it is mentioned. One second. So physical layer will be like your RS-232 or RJ45. For example, you guys have a broadband service in your home. When you connect your desktop with your modem, you will be using an RS-235 cable, right? So once the cable is being connected, every router, every system will have its own name. Okay, for example, my name is Prem. You guys have your name, so that is known as a MAC address over here. Okay, so in the case of missions, we'll say it as a MAC address. Okay, so that is known as a data link layer. In the network layer, we will decide that this has to be routed by IP, or this has to be routed by which type of platform. Like if you see OSPF, IP session, or through IP or ICMP packets or something like that. Okay, so that means your two routers, for example, router number 1 and router number 2 has to be connected, right? So it has to be created a path over there, like which path has to be created. For example, you are traveling from Chennai to Tiruchi, you have options like by bus, train, or flight. Okay, so what path has to be selected? So in the network layer, it takes a decision like, okay, we'll choose a path of IP or OSPF or ICMP packet method. Okay, so once that your path is decided, next, what is the mode of travel? For example, if you're planning to drive by, if you could travel, if you're trying to go by road, your decision, now you have an option of going by bike, car, or bus. Okay, so that is known as a transport layer. What type of transport, what mode of transport you're going to use it? So if you case in the case of Google, for a browser you open, and if you want to search for a Google, it will be a TCP protocol. Okay, the UDP protocols will be used only in the case of voice. Okay, SCTP protocol will be used in the case of voice, and TLS protocols are being used. These are the protocols. Okay, but that what is the point over here? Transport. Transport means what method of transport, like by bus, car, or something. Okay, next is the session layer. Okay, so what does mean the session layer? So in the session layer, where you will know what type of messages has to be forwarded in this particular path. Okay, so and example, how could I say is that you traveling by a car. Okay, you decided to go from so you decide, okay. Hello, I am audible right now. Hello.
Ah, yes, now it's audible. There is some glitch happened. Now go ahead.
Yeah, I
Thank
got a call
thank
from
you.
my number. Okay.
Thank you.
So now I think I've stopped in the session layer. Okay. So in the case of session layer, for example, if you're traveling from Chennai to Trichy, you don't know the route, then what will be your way of method of traveling? Like you'll be once you reach some destination, you'll be you'll be asking, okay, from here, what will be the distance? Or you'll be going through the milestones which has been fixed. But nowadays we are lucky that we have a Google Maps. So we used to put a Google Maps and we'll be moving out. Okay. So this is known as the session layer. The presentation layer, it's like you decide, like what will be the outcome over here. So in the case of Google page, it will be like HTML or JPG image or something like that. In the case of Google, it's an HTML page, because whenever you go in your browser, you will see a slash HTML page over there. Okay. So now is the next comes then application layer. So the application layer is the layer where you are seeing the Chrome or your Firefox, where you used to send a message that, okay, I want to ping www.google.com. So this is the place where you will be entering what has to be communicated, and that is getting communicated to the internet world. Okay. So that world is known as a DNS, or it's known as DNN world. Okay. So this is how your OSA layer has been incorporated into your day-to-day life. Okay. Moving on to it, now I'm coming to the communication side, like how our telecommunication has been built up. Okay, everyone knows that we are making a call. Okay, you are thinking that A to B, A person is calling to B person, the call is getting generated. That is right, but there will be an architecture backside of it through which this call is be getting routed. So, for example, when you walk here and there, you will see lot of towers, right? They'll say this is a BSNL tower, or this will be an Geo tower or something. That area is known as RAN. Okay, radio access network. Okay, your first signal from your mobile phone UV will reaches that radio. Okay, from that radio, once it reaches your radio, for example, next first point here is that how your UE is getting connected to the particular radio. It's on the frequency. Okay. For example, if Airtel is using 800 megahertz frequency, 900 megahertz frequency, may Vodafone use 1800 mega frequency. Okay. Through the frequency, your UE is getting connected to RAN. Okay. That is known as a radio access network. From radio access network, it decides the call has to be routed towards 2G. That means if it's a voice call, it will be routed to 2G. If it's your data call, it will be routed to 3G. And if it is an enhanced enhanced data call, call means it will be routed to 4G. Okay. So this is how your evaluation will works over there in the network. Okay. So how could I say means here I can classify this into a two networks. Okay. Airtel, if you see Airtel, in Airtel, the call gets routed to RAN. From RAN, for the voice, it goes to 2G. For data, it goes to 4G. But in the case of Geo, this, this 2G, 3G is eradicated. Your RAN will get connected to the 4G, and the call will be, and your voice will be connected to the IMS core. I believe in your wireless communication, the chapter number 5, I think there's a topic called on the EPC network. Okay, so I am briefed over here. So this is the topic which I'm going to talk now today for you entire day. Okay, so this is a small idea, but I'm going to show it in a bigger picture. This is how a network looks. Okay, so seeing this picture, don't think like தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவானே விவேக் ஒரு படத்துல ரஜினி கீழ வந்து சாரி விஜய் கீழ வந்து ஜாங்கிரிய பிச்சு போட்ட மாதிரி இருக்குன்னு. So this picture looks like that only for you right now, but I will explain you how the network has been formed over here. Okay. Initial days we started our technology with the radio side will be this area is known as radio. Okay. So your RAN, in the case of my previous slide, it is known as RAN. Okay. So first, initially, it was known as BSE, because when I was doing my engineering, we've been explained with the 2G technology only. So initially, it was BSE. From BSE means the radio part, and now it comes to the core part. The core part, this is where the CS core, it is known as the 2G, where the voice call will be handled, and this voice calls will be handled over there. So here you will see like MSS, MSE, or HLR, SMS, GMSE, all these things are there. This, in simple way, I can say this: MSC will handle the calls, HLR will handle the subscriber database, SMSE will handle the SMS service what we are doing. Okay, but according to me, this technology is being eradicated, and I can say it's getting obsoleted. Okay, now coming to the PS core, this is known as the 3G. So when this 3G technology came up, there was an enhancement in the radio side called radio network service, radio RNCs. Okay, radio network services. So here the technology consists of, here if you see this technology consists of SGSN, GGSN. So this SGSN will be routing the data calls towards the GGSN. This GGSN will be routing towards a particular internet or the IP pool where this call has to be routed. I'm sorry to say again, this technology is called eradicated right now. Okay. Now, right now, the technology which we are working on is, or which you guys are using is on the EPC. That means your 4G technology. Okay. So here there was an enhancement in the network radio side. It was E Node B. Okay. It is known as E-Utron. I think then this is the radio part. This is the core part where the MME is the will handle the data calls. HSS will handle the subscriber database, and this S gateway, and S gateway is the gateway where your internet it will decides that which PDN gateway has to be routed. Your PDN gateway will be communicating to your external world. For example, when you send a message in a WhatsApp to someone, this PDN gateway will routes to the IP pool or IP network. From that IP network, from the IP network, it will be reaching the other IP network, and they will be receiving the informations. Okay, so this is known as an EPC network, and like how could I say is that now you guys are using your WhatsApp call, right? When in your WhatsApp call you're making your voice call, right? That technology backside is known as voice over IP. Okay, your your voice packets are now moved into your IP in the form of IP packets. Okay, so to what happened is that they started thinking how to bring this voice packets into the wireless communication, like in your mobile phone. That is where this IMS came into picture. I can say it's IMS, like IP multimedia services, but in short, I can say it is an OLT, because that is where in your phones you can see the signal in your right corner. Okay, so if a network has an OLT, means your voice is mean moved on the data path, not on the data. It's not on the TDMA or FDMA technology. Okay, so now your data that now your voice is moving on IP packets. If you see this, I think you would have heard the CCNA, CCNP, or Juniper certifications, all these things, because this all teaches about your IP technologies. Like IP is completely now everything is on data. Okay, and to make your life easier, they decided to bring this voice into the data. Okay, so that is where this IMS technology came inside. So it has also a lot of components inside, but I don't want to take it much deeper. I'm just giving an example like how it has been built. So if you see this technology, right, is where the Geo is using right now. So when you are connected your UE with your E Node B, and your E Node Bs will be connected to their connected to the core. This core will handle the data only. When you want to make a voice call, this data centers will be handling your voice calls. Well, now I think till now I have teached you like what is 2G, 3G, and 4G, and what is IMS. But the point right now is that world is moving towards the next generation called 5G. Okay, that means this network will be, it's now look like complex, but it's going to be a simplified form. That is where this 5G come inside. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next slide. What is 5G? And I'll go to the 5G architecture. So what are the things you're going to achieve in 5G? Okay, 5G means what? You all get enhanced broadband services. You will get your enhanced broadband services. Your IoTs, massive IoT is going to come up. Your frequency. That means your latency will be decreased. Okay. Uh, like what I can see means like your speed now it's going to be very faster enough. Like I can say like right now you can see in your home they say 40 Mbps data, like 100 Mbps data, but that is all in wired. That all going to be converted into wireless when the 5G comes into the market. In simple word, I want to say you means because this is what then idea of the all the operators in the market, that everything has to be handy enough. So that's why this 5G comes into the market. So once your speed increases means your latency will decrease. Okay, your latency decreases means your accuracy will increases. So that's why you will see like this IoT coming up. That means IoTs are coming up, like your driverless cars are coming up. Your hospitality will increases. For example, how could I say, means if there is a fire accident somewhere near to your home, means through IoT device it will be indicating the nearest hospital. Okay, so saying that so and so place is getting fired out, so automatically the ambulance from here starts moving over there. This is a pretty example I'm saying you. This is where in the hospitality field it is getting increased. Okay, in the case of driving, Tesla is the one goodest example. You can see that there's an option called driverless mode. Okay, so driverless mode means your car is getting connected to your to the base station where the Tesla data centers are working. So it is getting routed with your Google Maps. So this is all being done in a millisecond. So 5G is the only way to attain this process. So because it has a very low latency of 1 milliseconds. Okay. Now I'll move back to the 5G architecture. Uh, this is how the 5G architecture going to be look like in future. So there will be only two services. One is to handle your data. That means your data in the sense means how you want your data. Like if you want a very low, that means you want a very low latency data, it will be available. If you want an high latency data, it will be available. Example, how could I say, means if you in your phones you will have being lot of applications, right? So for example, you will give a priority that like my Outlook or my Teams has to be on toppest priority, means there will be like that consumes a lot of data, right? Your WhatsApp wants to consume less data. That is known as network slicing. So that will be enhanced in this 5G core services, that you can classify your usages like how you want, and you have to customize yourself. Okay, so this is how there's a main point in the 5G. And the 5G architecture, you can see, for example, if you see this architecture and if you go back to 5G architecture, there will be a service based interface is going to be created. That service based interface is going to work on the basis of HTTP protocol, which is what we are using right now when you do browsing, right? Whenever you type something, you'll put http:/:google.com. Okay, so that means what, your life is going to be very easier right now. So that means even a person who knows HTTP can work on 5G networks, and it's going to be very easy and very simplified method. Okay, but if you see in reality, it takes somewhat maybe 2 years to come into the reality, but everyone we are working towards it. Okay, so in this technology, they started again bringing the voice. So the IMS network has joined in it to bring it into the voice. So why again and again this IMS is coming here and there is that in future they're planning to not have an WhatsApp. They don't want an Instagram. They don't want to have a Facebook. Okay, there will be one unified number for a one person. That means your identity going to be changed instead of Prem to on my mobile number. So once your mobile number is there, your complete identity will be exploited. Okay, so that your WhatsApp will come into your SMS services, your video calls, all these things comes into your in your call services. Okay, so now I think now itself who's having the OT services, when the other party is having a OT service, you can see in your phone in the corner there will be a video call symbol will be enabled. So that means what, telecom industry has decided that they should not depend on any third party applications. Everything has to be in one single format, that has to be in your mobile phones. Okay, and in the case of 5G, your UE, that means your mobile phone is going to play a biggest role in it, because it decides like how I have to work, which network I have to be connected. Okay, like okay, right now okay, this guy is using only WhatsApp, so he has given a priority of less. Then it will take only enhanced mobile broadband services. But in the case of if you are planning to put an planning to bring your car, like your Tesla car, to your to where you want to stand, then it starts using your URLC, ultra low latency frequency will be used. So your mobile phone is going to be a tomorrow's artificial intelligence that is going to be in your hand. That is where that the 5G technology is coming up very faster, and it's like going to be booming the market like anything. Okay, this is a spider diagram of 5G. Okay, this diagram explains you what are the things will be achieved. To make it very like interesting, I'll go into an internet once again. Okay, I think so far I'm good. 5G. This is a spider diagram where it explains you
Now it's audible, Prem. There is some glitch.
hello. I'm audible.
Now it's now audible. Earlier I had some glitch. Now you can, please.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just going to the 5G spider diagram, which explains you very easily. See what is in the 5G. 5G. These are the things that we're going to obtain in 5G, like low latency, reliability, peak data rates, coverage, and battery life. Okay. What are the three advantages of 5G, which I explained before? It was massive IoT, enhanced broadband services, and ultra low latency frequency. Okay. First, when you activate EMB in your mobile, you will get low latency and your data rate will be very faster. Okay. When you choose URLC, you have low latency and reliability. This is which I was explaining about the Tesla car. When using a Tesla car, your phone automatically get converted to URLC mode, because it has to have a low latency and reliability to reach the end user. Okay. Next is LTE. That means enhanced LTE. When you use an enhanced LTE, you should have a good coverage. It should be low cost, and your battery life of your phone has to be saved. Okay. So when you activate this LTE service, these are the three advantages you are going to getting out of it. Okay. Next is IoT. For example, as I explained in this Amazon Alexa, right? So your battery life will be increased, your low cost will be there, your coverage will be there, your reliability will be there very well. Okay. So all this together is known as 5G. All these four services will be there in the 5G. Okay. Okay. I just want to move back to the slide. So if you see how the 5G has penetrated means 5G is getting faster enough. Like as of now, like 100 of customers have been engaged in it. 70% of technical engagement is happening all over the world. If you see in the networks like AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, it's already deployed. If you see in Japan, like SoftBank, Docomo, everything got deployed over there in Japan. And if you take it in the somewhere in Europe, Vodafone, Italy, Telenor, all it's been deployed. And if you see right now, the first 5G call was made in Vodafone Qatar. I was the one among the person in that project. Uh, this is how the 5G is getting developed. Once the 5G gets developed, your life will become easier. And since we are from the telecom background, is that when I was coming out of my college, I was thinking the IT is the only field where we can grow up, or this is the only way for us to move further. But it's completely no. Since we are from electronic communication background, lot of openings, lot of opportunities are there in our core area itself. If you see, for example, in India, like Nokia is there, Ericsson is there, Vodafone, Airtel, Jio. Everyone is investing because communication is the base of everything. Okay, without communication, nothing will going to be working enough. Okay, and your pay scales are very good because in future in 5G, your what is the point is that they want to attain this low latency means the point will be like your data centers will be increased because your frequency has to be carried very easily. Your small cells industry is going to get increased. Small cell companies are going to get increased, and your data center is going to increase. Like I think everywhere you listen, what is telco cloud like AWS, Amazon Cloud, Google Cloud, OpenStack, VMware. So to achieve this 5G, everyone has to go back of cloud technology. So you have opportunities on cloud. Okay. Next will be our applications on 5G. You have an application. You have an opportunity on deploying the 5G applications. And next is going to be your antenna services. Still, the small cell industries are there to they're developing themselves. They need lot of young, energetic people to develop the services. Okay. So these are the you have a lot of areas where you can exploit and work on core area itself. Like I said, you in RAN, in core, and in IP and cloud. Lot of like means day by day that since the 5G is getting increased day by day, the requirement is also getting increased. I can see a lot of guys from different department, computer science, ITT guys are also working in telecom, but I could not see easy like communication students in that field itself. Maybe you don't have an awareness or something like that. I'm not sure, but my intention for this session is to give you an awareness like how the technology has been evolved and how we are using it in the day-to-day life. Okay. Fine, cool. Ramesh sir, I'm done. We can move to question
Yes.
and section. Okay.
Yes. Available. Students, if you have any query, you may ask. Even Mr. Prem sharing his contact details also. You may make a note of it. Why I'm telling means you are all going to be graduate in another 3 months. After 3 months, even most of the students got one or two opportunities while studying in the campus itself. But everyone may have the dream job. So the time, if you have certain fundamentals from the textbook to the related to the industry, then quite easy to grab the right opportunity in communication domain, especially telecommunication. Even I can say, when I was doing the post graduation, I studied one of the book I used to remember, Mobile Communication, authored by William C.Y. Lee. He mainly explained about the AMPS, developed by the GSM or the Finland network service provider. But later came to the commercialization. The same manner, everything will evolve from the R&D lab to the end user or the consumers. That time, if you are trying to link from one hour to another, then it's a right thing. Even I can tell you, you are all studying 4 years electronics and communication specialization. In that, there may be one topic you are having the clarity during the academic or after the academic while attending the interview, then surely you can find the right core industry. Then that will go in long run. Even I have seen recently from our senior 2021 passed out batch. So, they also got the opportunity through the campus. Then they had the dream. Then they appeared at the different companies. Then now they are working in the core industry. So core industry is evergreen. So that will give you a best realization as well as the payback of your investment also. So at the outset, I would like to thank Mr. Prem. Even after 15 years, when I'm asking him, he made a meticulous effort. Even the particular PPT before preparation, he asked me the syllabus of wireless networks, wireless communication. Then he discussed with me also. Then he shown the demonstration also. So any doubt you can ask me, or you can make a note of his mail ID also. Whenever you can doubt, you can ask him directly. He will surely clarify your doubts or what are the communication or telecommunication industries are available in Chennai alone, he worked already Nokia networks before that, video telecommunication. Now he's working in Ericsson Global Services, as well as the Luz and Alcatel. So even HCL, Wipro, and then Honeywell, everyone having the R&D lab. Example, the Capgemini. Capgemini also exclusive 5G lab facility like Nokia networks. So you can explore those things, then try to find right core opportunity also. Even before the pre-pandemic or during the pandemic and post-pandemic, you may compare. So many opportunities are raised. That's what you got more opportunity within the campus, as well as we are going out from the campus also, we can find it. Any doubt you can ask from our alumnus or distinguished alumni or your supermost senior. The doubt na kekalampaa students.
ஓகே பசங்களா, நான் ஒரே வார்த்தை தான் சொல்லுவேன். அவர் சொன்னார் 13 வருஷம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ், 14 வருஷம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்னு. பட் த பாயிண்ட் இஸ் தட் டெக்னாலஜி மாற மாற நான் படிச்சதெல்லாம் போயிடுச்சு. ஓகே, நவ் த மார்க்கெட் இஸ் லுக்கிங் ஃபார் யங் பீப்புள்ஸ், அண்ட் ஈவன் எங்களோட 4G 5G தான் இப்போ வந்து மார்க்கெட்டை ரூல் பண்ணுது. ஈவன் ஐ எம் ஆல்சோ அன் ஃப்ரெஷர் ஃபார் த மார்க்கெட் ரைட் நவ், பிகாஸ் 5G வந்து பூம் ஆகுது. 5G பூம் ஆகிறதால வி ஆல்சோ வாண்ட் டு ரீட் அவர் டே டு டே லைஃப்ல படிக்கணும். ஸோ எங்க பிரெயினோட உங்க பிரெயின் வில் பி 10x 20x 30x. ஸோ யூ ஹவ் லாட் ஆஃப் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இன் த மார்க்கெட். அதை மட்டும் ஐ கேன் சே யூ வெரி கான்ஃபிடென்ட்லி. ஒன் திங் ஐ வாண்ட் டு மென்ஷன் ஓவர் ஹியர் தட் நான் வந்து சென்னையில தான் ஃபுல்லாமே ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். பிகாஸ் நான் சென்னை விட்டு போக மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் திங்க் அபவுட் இட். 13 வருஷமா நான் சென்னையிலேயே ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னா அப்போ எவ்வளோ ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் வந்து சென்னைக்குள்ளேயே இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது நீங்க யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. It's not only that you're going to be in Chennai. If you once you get into the companies, you have a lot of option to move out of India. I also moved out of India a lot, but I prefer to be in Chennai. I came back. இதுதான். So உங்களுக்கு எது மாதிரி, like if you want some career guidance or if you have any questions, means தாராளமா என்னோட இந்த this is my mobile number, this is my mail ID. Post me, I will surely reply back to you. Okay, பிகாஸ் நான் பட்ட கஷ்டம் யாரும் படக்கூடாது. அதுதான் என்னோட பாயிண்டே இந்த ப்ரெசன்டேஷனுக்கு. ஸோ தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் எவ்ரி ஒன் ஃபார் ஜாயினிங் திஸ் செஷன், அண்ட் தட்ஸ் இட். ஐ எம் சைனிங் ஆஃப் ரைட் நவ்.
Just a moment. Thank you very much, Prem. At the outset, on behalf of our SRM ECE management, principal, vice principal, head of the department, faculty members, students, I would like to thank biggest way to our Prem to accepting our invitation on delivering the session towards the communication industry vision. Thank you very much who are all participated in that particular session. Anytime you can ask him or you may ask me. Prem, I think in our department, our Uday Kumar sir, Vasri ma'am is also available. Sir want to have a word with you. He may have some serviceable movement than me because I have seen you only in the final year, but maybe Uday sir seeing from the first year, second year itself. Sir, now irukka?
Yes, Premnath now irukka.
வாய்ஸ் நல்லா நான் இருக்கு சார்.
Oh, super nice. Okay, எப்படி இருக்காங்க உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம்?
Everyone is doing good, sir.
Okay, very good. ராம்குமார் பேஸ் தானே நீ? ராம்குமார்?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. முதல்ல ஸ்ட்ரைக் ஆகல, அதுக்கப்புறம் ஸ்ட்ரைக் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஓ, பிரேம். வெரி குட் பிரேம். உங்களுடைய ப்ரொஃபைல் நம்பர் நல்லா இருக்கு, உங்களுடைய growth நல்லா இருக்கு. ஐ திங்க் எஸ்பெஷலி வெரி சூப்பர்.
உங்க எல்லாத்தோட ஆசீர்வாதம் தான்.
இல்ல, நீ லாட் ஆஃப் சேஞ்சஸ். நம்மள நம்மள டிஜிட்டல் எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ் எடுக்கும் போது இப்போதைக்கு நிறைய டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு
சார். அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் நான் விட்டு தான் பாஸ் பண்ணேன். ஓப்பன்லி சேயிங் டு எவரிவன், நான் அரியர் வச்சு தான் பாஸ் பண்ணேன் அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட். So that is something, okay, that is something was my life in the backside, but now I am in the communication industry. எனக்கு என்ன பொறுத்த அளவுக்கு எல்லாருமே வந்து கம்யூனிகேஷன் கோர் படிக்கிற எல்லாருமே கம்யூனிகேஷன் இண்டஸ்ட்ரிக்கு வரணும். உண்மையை சொன்னா மேசிவ் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் மேசிவ் IoT மாதிரி மேசிவ் ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு இந்தியால.
கண்டிப்பா இருக்கு. ஏன்னா இப்போ நிறைய ஒரு கம்பெனி சிப் டெஸ்ட் இன்ஜினியரிங்ட்டு நிறைய ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட் இருக்கு. ஆனா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து ப்ரிஃபர் பண்ண மாட்டேன்றாங்க. எல்லாம் வந்து that is எடுத்தவனே 25-30 எதிர்பார்க்கறதுனால பட் ஆஃப்டர் 3 இயர்ஸ் பார்த்தனா கோர் எல்லாம் பார்த்தனா
You
they
know
are getting more than 5
in
something.
in our industry itself, their starting package is 4 lakhs. I can guarantee you. Starting package per year is 4 lakhs. I'm just saying to everyone. Industry la we have lot of good opportunities because and moreover in the industry எப்படின்னா your mind will be always எப்படி சொல்லணும் எப்பயுமே உங்களோட பிரெயின் வந்து லைக் இட் will be active because daily உனக்கு கண்டுபிடிக்கணும் daily ஒரு ரிசல்ட்ஸ் பார்க்கணும் அது I don't want to say about IT or something, but ஐடிங்கிறது வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் புக்லெட் ஒரு ஃபார்மேட் இருக்கும் அந்த ஃபார்மேட்டை காப்பி பேஸ்ட் பண்ணோமா கொஞ்சம் மாற்றணுமா வேலை முடிஞ்சது பட் இது இந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரி நம்ம இண்டஸ்ட்ரி வந்து ரொம்ப டிஃப்ரெண்டான ஒரு இண்டஸ்ட்ரி அதை எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணணும் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணாங்கன்னா லாட் ஆஃப் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் ஆர் தேர் ரைட் நவ் ஐ எம் ஒர்க்கிங் இன் Ericsson குளோபல் சர்வீசஸ் as a சீனியர் சொல்யூஷன் ஸ்பெஷலிஸ்ட் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து என்னாலே நம்பவும் முடியல ஓகே இல்ல எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் லைக் நம்மளோட இதுதான் சொல்ல வரேன் ஏர்ஜ் வேணும் ஏர்ஜ் பசங்களுக்கு கிரியேட் பண்ணணும் தான் நான் இந்த செஷன் வைக்கணும்னு நான் ரமேஷ் பர்கில பேசுனது
இல்ல உங்களுடைய வே ஆஃப் அப்ரோச் அந்த வே ஆஃப் பிரசன்டேஷன் பார்த்தனா எக்ஸலென்ட்டா இருக்கு நம்ம பிரேமா நல்லா பண்றாங்க அப்படியே ஓகே அதுதான் வேணும் ஓகே தட்ஸ்
Thanks.
Actually, your presentation slides was very neat and clear.
Marvelous.
The OSI layer நீ காமிச்ச slides வந்து அவ்வளவு excellent ஆ இருந்துச்சு. I have even took screenshot of all the slides. Thank you, Prem.
Slide அனுப்பி விட்டுறேன். இதோட better slides தான் இருக்கு அனுப்பி விட்டுறேன்.
No. Actually, it is our privilege to have from our students back. அது ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருந்துச்சு நல்ல ஃப்ளோ அப்பெல்லாம் வந்து எது கேட்டாலும் நீ பதில் கூட சொல்ல மாட்டேன் நிறைய நேரம் இல்ல சார் நம்ம ஏதாவது கேஷுவலா ஒரு क्वेश्चन கேட்டா கூட எல்லாம் அப்படி பேன் பார்த்துட்டு போயிடுவாங்க இப்ப வந்து he was talking
அதனால அந்த வாத்தியா சொன்னாங்க அது ஒரு அதனால அந்த வாத்தியா சொன்ன பிரேம் வந்து அப்பத்துக்கு இப்பத்துக்குலாம் பார்த்தனா அதாவது இப்போ அப்ப வந்து ஜீரோனா இப்ப இன்ஃபினிட்டி அதுதான்
அதான்
100% சார்
எக்ஸாக்ட்லி சார் அதனாலதான் நம்ம பசங்க மோட்டிவேஷனல் டாக் அலுமினியே கூப்பிடுறது see the transition of the student அப்படின்னு சொல்லி
one more point இங்க நான் சொல்லணும் சார் பசங்களுக்கு என்னன்னா you have good package in this industry அவ்வளவுதான் என்னால சொல்ல முடியும் பிகாஸ் என்னோட பேக்கேஜ் என்னங்க ரமேஷ் சாருக்கு தெரியும் பர்சனலா கேட்டு தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க ஓகே எனக்கே ஒரு क्वेश्चन நான் இவ்வளவு க்ரோ ஆயிருக்கானா அப்படிங்கிறது I still
நிறைய பேர் இல்ல பிரேம் இப்ப நிறைய 2009 10 பாஸ் அவுட்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா கிட்டத்தட்ட அவங்க per month 5 lakhs வாங்குறாங்க
ஓகே
per month 5 lakhs வாங்குறாங்க பட் அவங்க வந்து இப்ப அதே தான் சொல்றேன் பசங்களுக்கு வந்து வர மாட்டேன்றாங்க எதுனா சிப் மேனுஃபேக்சரிங்ல நிறைய வாண்டட் இருக்கு
சார் நீங்க சொன்ன பேக்கேஜுக்கு நியர்பை தான் இருந்தோம் ஓகே அதனால வந்து ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு டிஸ்க்ளோஸ் இட் பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் அஃபென்ஸ் ஸோ அதான் சொல்றேன் லாட் ஆஃப் ஓப்பனிங்ஸ் தேர் எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னா பசங்க வந்து இன்னும் இனிஷியேட்டிவ் எடுத்து போனாங்கன்னா கிளவுட் மார்க்கெட் எக்ஸ்பேண்ட் ஆகுது லைக் நவ் AWS இஸ் கம்மிங் அப் கூகுள் கிளவுட் இஸ் கம்மிங் அப் அசூர் இஸ் கம்மிங் அப் இப்போ என்னன்னா வீட்ல இருந்தே வேலை பார்க்கலாம் they can build their own technology also for example இப்போ இந்த வாட்ஸ்அப் அப்ளிகேஷன் இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா they can also build their own WhatsApp applications okay அப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆனது தான் இந்த டிண்டர் the கரி விருந்துன்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் everything got developed like that only I was mentor for some of the applications also doing mentoring for some of the applications. I'm also a mentor for some of the projects also. Okay, so these are the things are coming up. அது வந்து அவங்க எவால்வேட் பண்ணாங்கன்னா போதும் வாட்ஸ்அப்புங்கிறது ஒரு சாதாரண அப்ளிகேஷன் அதை அவன் வித்துட்டு போயிட்டான் கோடிக்கணக்கில் ஓகே ஸோ இனிஷியேட்டிவ் ஐடியாஸ் ஒன்லி இஸ் கோயிங் டு எவால்வ் எவ்ரிவன் அவ்வளோதான் எனக்கு அதுக்கு மேலே பேச தெரியல சார் நான் வந்து
one day we'll arrange and that time we interact in physical mode that time you may have some more things you can give it to our students or your juniors. That is going to be a right thing.
Yes, my point is that my next topic, if you want me to talk, will be on 5G only. I don't want to
Sure,
go
sure.
back to because 5G and cloud, 5G cloud, அதுக்கப்புறம் IP networks.
Yes,
These are the
sure,
we are
sure.
into.
Okay. Okay. Prem, we are going to formally closing the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you all for all the faculty members, students attending the particular session during the late evening. So good night to all. Thank you.
Thank you. And now once more I'm saying பசங்க ஜாயின் பண்ணவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் நன்றி because இவ்வளவு பொறுமையா அதுதான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஏன்னா எனக்கெல்லாம் அந்த காலத்துல பொறுமை கிடையாது. நாங்கெல்லாம் அப்படி இல்லை. அந்த ஜெனரேஷன் I can see over here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you very much.